Could you help me, please?
My obsession with ALS was, what if I can't use my hands or my legs? What if I'm in a wheelchair, have a feeding tube,
Tucking the t-shirt in.
can't talk?
I'll get the Velcro.
And I was really struggling with the future of my disease.
You want me to help with the top ones?
Well, I think I can do it.
When I would be thinking about the future, about my kids, my grandkids, my wife, my job, all of which would be taken away,
Let me do it.
I would sink in the darkness. I was reading in Hebrews, and I thought, this is me. I'm afraid of tomorrow. So I wrote out the card, decided when I was discouraged, I take a 5-minute timeout and go over the verse again and again and again.
On the way of the Master, the team is in Italy, sharing the gospel in the shadow of Milan's most famous church.
The Bible was written by men, but the men were inspired by God. Is it wrong to murder someone? It depends.
Then, Ray Comfort tries to preach open air and finds himself detained by the police.
Am I being arrested?
I don't know if what happened to me was real or if it was just a dream. Not even sure that that matters anymore. But I feel like I owe you all an apology. If you're going to believe any of this, or even understand it, I feel like I'm going to have to start at the beginning. Looking back, it seems like only yesterday.
So often the question comes up like, am I enough? And so often society or so often peers say, no, you're not. And so you take the next step to try and become what you think people want you to be, which isn't who you are at all. And in the end, you end up losing yourself, kind of.
I don't know why more is expected of girls than guys. Like, we already get the short end of the stick with life in general. Like, guys have it so much easier than we do.
It's tough to put into words how you're feeling and what you're thinking and the struggles that you're having or the feelings. They come so quickly, and there are so many of them, and they move in such rapid pace that you can't. To explain them would be almost harder than keeping them bottled up inside.
I think young people today are confused, actually, I would say, because there are things telling us, yeah, there is hope, but then the majority of our friends are saying, no, you're nothing unless you're like this, or you have to do these things in order to have some value. So I think a lot of it is we're just confused and trying to find answers, and we want answers.
When I was a little girl growing up in Kokomo, Indiana, my friends and I would stand outside at recess time, thinking of cute boys from our class. We would pick a flower and start pulling off the petals.
He loves me.
He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. You get the idea. Unfortunately, this simple game describes my thinking about my worth for most of my growing up years. When I lost weight, got good grades, or had attention from a boy, I would say, they love me. But when my pants got tight, or I was teased, or didn't get picked for the team again, I would think, they love me not. And given that I was a shy, chubby, red-haired girl with freckles, most of my life I believed, they love me not. Not loved became my identity, and years of self-destructive, negative choices would reflect this lie that was planted deep, deep in my heart. And I didn't know the simple truth that God loved me.